Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Bazaar World Podcast. Today, Cranbury here, joined by Tr1kster as usual. You can say hi, Tr1kster.
Hello. Glad to be back again.
Yeah, and we're joined by Classy today. Classy, do you just want to introduce yourself, say how you got into the game and what you're kind of doing with the game right now?
Sure. So I'm Classy. I used to be a Mac main when he first came out. I'm mostly known for creating the guide for Mac that is not active anymore, but it used to be a popular resource. Also, I stream from time to time. With Karnok's release, I swapped over as well. So nowadays, I'm a full-on Karnok main, and I don't bother playing anyone else.
It's so funny you jump ship like so fast. I mean, I remember you being like, you only played Mac, right? It was like that was your whole thing, and then just fully jumped.
When he was announced in the test server, I already kind of made it clear that I was going to swap full-time just based on the design. So glad it turned out well.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I want to hear your thoughts maybe later on like how Karnok has shaped out and maybe where you're hoping he could shape out better. But, you know, let's get to that in a little bit. For everyone listening, there's a couple of reasons, but one of the reasons for this week why I wanted Classy on the podcast is that we just did the streamer event that we talked about last time, and Classy actually won. It was a decently sized lobby. How many were there? Were there 12, 11 of you guys?
10.
Do you remember? Okay, just 10. Gotcha. And you played Karnok for that. So just to start out today, do you mind telling us about like how your run went and how you like were thinking about it going into the event?
Yeah, I posted the VOD on YouTube as well. If people want to go like hear everything that I was talking about and all my thoughts. But basically, I'm pretty much the only Karnok in the lobby whenever I queue up for any match. So it's an interesting experience. But what I ended up doing during that match was I had like a pretty rough start. I had to do lifting stones and I was missing some of the key items that every Karnok run needs. Like I think I didn't find the squirrel until later, but I was kind of like bleeding out prestige early. Then I stabilized a little bit with the frog hollow since I had the lifting stones. And finally, the real turning point was when I went to the sticky fingers, which is a new node, but it sells off-class items. And I found a Korra in there. And I just rode the wave off of that Korra. It actually ended up doing a lot of DPS. And also, when I was like fighting the PvE monsters, I got a bunch of their really good skills. So that just ended up all combining together.
Yeah, you had thick hide, which with Trap Vine was a pretty like silly looking combo. Do you want to like, if you have it on you, just like left to right, say what your final board was and some of the premier skills on it?
Sure. Let me just pull it up.
I wonder if I have it memorized, honestly. I mean, it's like Icy Trap Vine, which was like crazy.
Yeah. So originally I was doing like the sled on the left of Korra to charge it up. But then eventually when I got thick hide, I realized that I don't need to wait for the sled to charge. So I had an Icy Trap Vine. I got a Snowflake as well from the Icy monster.
Dang, I didn't know that. That's so rough. Jeez.
Yeah, so it's like every time I slow, I'm freezing for 1 second, which is really, really strong. And then there was a bat that had gold diamond fangs, so it was like 2 seconds. And then I had the diamond Korra, which was heavy enchanted, so it's charging even more. And then I had 2 water skins during that run, but one of them was diamond and it was radiant, so it made my Korra half resist like freezes, which was important for the last few fights. And then to top it all off, I added a trapping pit, which is one of my favorite items right now.
Mm-hmm.
And for crit, I got the poison crit at diamond. So that just solved all my issues without needing a hunter's journal. I also got a slow crit at diamond. And then also foreboding wins.
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Dude, I was casting the event and I saw when you went into Sticky Beans and got the Korra, and my commentary there was probably bad because I think I said like, is he really taking this Korra? Like, is that really what he wants to do? But it was so much more convincing watching it play than I thought it was going to be. I mean, Thick Hide probably did a good bit, but even before that, it was It was killing
Yeah.
people like so fast. I was so shocked at how much it was scaling.
I didn't really
It's
have
crazy.
another choice because I was going to hit level 10 and I just couldn't find any like carry items. So I had to just take what I got.
Yeah. It's crazy it shaped out that way. I mean, Karnok has a lot of ways to get out, I think, in tournament in general, just because he can flex some things. But I watched when you were playing the lifting stones board, you had like a bronze dryad. And I was saying, like, Classy has to get out of this like as soon as possible. Like, this is really not what you want to do, especially when you had opponents. Like, there were 3 dualies that were all playing at one point or another race Carl, and they were just really fast startups. They weren't scaling damage, but they were just critting. Like, Trinets, Race Carl was really strong early, but you know, you hit your out and you played it, and it was crazy looking. And then the trapping pit, that was so fun to watch. Like, it was fun to watch your opponents squirm on how to get around trapping pit.
Yeah.
Because they had to just grief their boards to like think about it. Oh, can you
Exactly.
like explain the moment where you like, I watched you took trapping pit out and put in the log trap. You were thinking about mind gaming, I think. Like,
Yes.
kind of talk about that.
So it was me and Jota, and I trapping pitted him like the fight before. So he already knew like when he put his instant noodles like next to the swan, it would just instantly like get destroyed. So I was thinking he might want to move the instant noodles away from the swan and put a slower item there. And if he did that, then my trapping pit wouldn't be very useful. So I was thinking if I wanted to put the log trap instead, since it does a bunch of slows. But in the end, I noticed that he had like a pastry cart anyways. So getting rid of the noodles would be helpful either way.
Yeah. His like next fastest item was just not enough to be helpful. I mean, the Zarlik, his board was crazy too. For those who don't know, he had Defender's Flame with a shielded Zarlik that was crit scaling, so it's just full looping. Like, his output was also more impressive than I thought it would be. But Defender's Flame, yeah, he had a lot. Yeah, Swan, he played Refrigerator early, which at the time, this has since been patched, but Refrigerator was especially strong for the first chunk of this new patch.
Yeah.
So Jota in second, Trinet in third. It was fun. Like, did you have a good time doing it? Like, do you like it? Like, how was it?
Yeah. I haven't had like the greatest time with the Bazaar recently, which we can talk about later because it's related to Karnok's like state.
Right.
But this mode is one of my favorite things about the Bazaar. I've been testing it as well. I know you have been as well. So I've already been hyped like way before this month.
Yeah. I've been like, I mean, I don't have as much time to play as I wish I did, but whenever I get a chance, like, I am just playing tournament mode. I was just talking to Trick before this started, and Trick, you can like chime in here too. I have not played ladder at all. I am so in love with the 8-player lobbies for rank tournament mode. But Trick, you're saying you're not like as into it. Like, what are your thoughts on hearing Classy's experience and like where you're at with the game?
Well, on the last podcast, we talked how like I really love the idea of tournament mode giving new avenues for people to enjoy the game. And I think that's kind of exactly what Classy's describing. I personally don't enjoy the playstyle in tournament mode as much, but I'm glad that people that do have a great new outlet to do it. Like, I'm glad it's gone over so well in just the first, few weeks it's been out. Like,
it's even less. Yeah, it's been
a few
even
days,
less than
right?
that. Has it only been a few days?
We're on exactly a week. Yeah.
It's only been a week. That's insane. Well, I'm glad it's done so well. I'm glad people have this outlet that they're enjoying for a different style of play. I've personally not participated in the PTR stuff. The only tournament I've done has been all of our stuff from testing ahead of time. I haven't actually gone to the PTR ROM yet.
Sure.
So I can't speak too much to how it is currently, but I'm glad it's going well. I'm glad people are enjoying it. And I think it's led to some really interesting discussion about the game and like different items in the game, which I think is fun.
Yeah. Okay. There's just so much to talk about. This is a topic we'll get into in just a minute here. But one thing I wanted to talk about today was the struggle of balancing the game from tournament mode to regular mode and maybe what the future of that might look like. But before that, for those of you listening, we're referencing that you can play tournament mode now. If you're listening and this is news to you, the public test realm is publicly available. If you want access to it, it should exist on the Tempo Discord. There's just a code. You just put it into the Steam page on the betas section, and then you're in. And that's pretty much like Then you can find lobbies through the Discord. There's other ways to find lobbies. Streamers often host huge lobbies, which is really fun. I even hosted a really big one. We're going to showcase that in just a minute. But before like all of that, I'm happy with how the streamer event went. I hope that Tempo sees it as an opportunity to like continue to broadcast the game. I know that they're a bit against like advertising generally, but it's a strong way to garner interest. So I hope they choose to do that if it was successful enough. But I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I think that they should do more streamer style broadcasts because I think it's just a really good way to show people, I don't want to say the top end of the Bazaar, but the more experienced end of the Bazaar. Like the people who might not be at, rank 1 every season, but they're people who are logging, hundreds of hours in this game and know it to an extent that I think it's almost like watching, I don't want to say a professional because that feels weird, but like watching someone who's like a master at their craft, even if the craft is something as dumb as like only playing Cash Cannon on Pygmalion or something. Like
sure, yeah.
Even if you're watching a train wreck of a run, watching someone who knows how to pilot a train wreck is very captivating.
Yeah.
So I think more streamer events are very interesting, especially if you get people who are known for being really good at really weird parts of the game. So I think they should do more.
Yeah, I hope they do. Classy, would you mind talking about, like, I know you and someone else, Dash, have been working on a bot that helps with tracking rank for the public test realm. Can you just explain like the whole idea about that, how it works and how people can do it?
Yep. For people listening, if you're interested after my explanation, you can just Google Project PTR on Google and it will pop up. Or go to the Discord. I think they have an announcement. But basically, we got inspired to do this by a similar game, Teamfight Tactics. So they also have a test round before every set. And the community, some like high-ranking players, they created a ladder for this test round. Because usually the test round is just, like there's no rank or anything. But they created their own ladder, and it's connected to a Discord bot. So this Discord bot, it will automatically match players. It will calculate scores and then their MMR. And then the website has like a leaderboard. So that's exactly what we're doing, but for the Bazaar now. And something really cool is that we've been working with the devs directly. So the devs are kind of utilizing us to test out some of the extra features that tournament mode might have. For example, the bot can like automatically invite 8 players when it's found a proper match. So you would join a queue and you don't have to like host anything. You don't have to enter any codes to join the lobby. The bot will automatically invite you when there's enough people ready. So that's just a pretty nice thing that the devs did, and they're working nicely with us. Some things we'll have in the future is having a QQ bot as well. So the Chinese player base, which is like a really big player base, can also join in and compete with us on the ladder. And at the end of the month, the top 8 will compete probably on the Tempo's like live stream, and we'll cast it. And there'll be some unique prizes that you can't get anywhere else, if that interests you.
Yeah, I hope it interests people because like, so this is the mode that I've been playing more than anything. And I'm playing only Vanessa, which like is such a headache, but it's so fun. Like I love queuing up. I mean, pretty frequently we're scrambling to try and make sure enough people are queued up at a time, because it's not because people don't want to play, I think, but because right now it's in the public test round that everyone knows about it. It's not showing in the game as a queue button. You have to do it through Discord, but it's up there with like the most fun I've ever had playing the game. It's like, I love trash talking my opponents. I love losing to them really badly and then like salt posting about it for 20 minutes. Like all of it is so much fun to me. So I'm impressed that you guys even like did it. I'm just like, wow, they just like threw this thing together and it works kind of amazingly, and the rank is tracking and you can see who's winning and you can watch a lobby that's playing live. You can see who's in it. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of amazing. So
I do want to give my shout out to Tempo because they trusted us with these things. Like we have access to some things that you'd be surprised about because otherwise it wouldn't work. So they just trusted 2 random people from Discord to use their tools and create this. So that's nice. And also, like, it's still fairly new. The bot started a few days after the PTR was released. So really great opportunity to join in now. And the community is like one of the big reasons why it's so fun. Like everyone's talking in the main Discord. And even outside of the Discord, like the bot works from anywhere. So you can just put in your own server and join the same queue. But yeah, it's nice talking to people and interacting during the matches and queuing up.
Yeah, it's so fun. So everyone should like try that if you get a chance to, even if it ends up not being your cup of tea, sort of like similar to how Trickster's saying. You should give it a chance because it's a unique way to play, and maybe you'll find that you love it. And you don't have to, well, the bot can work differently. You can also just host a lobby with a code, and you can send it out to only specific people. You don't have to have 8 people. You can have even more than 8 people. And it's not for rank. It's just for, you want to do a lobby because it's fun. So you don't have to go as sweaty as possible.
Yeah,
There's lots
most
of
of
ways
the
to do it.
streamers do that. They just host like a massive lobby for all their chats, and you can join in, even if you don't like follow or subscribe to them. You don't even need to use the bot for that. The only reason you would use the bot for a lobby like that is if you want to like track your match history. It's mostly just for ranked.
Yeah, which you are also doing. I mean, Classy just sent me stats for both ranked and unranked matches, and there's an impressive amount of like games period already.
Yeah,
but the stats are interesting. Yeah, there's a ton of games. People are like really playing it. Speaking of big lobbies, I want to take this moment to, last week we did a podcast lobby with as many people as we could get. The lobby size got up to 49, but I think with some disconnections, it ended up being closer to 43-ish, maybe 42. And the winner was also Karnok. So, Classy, I sent you that board. Do you want to give us a little, like, what are your thoughts on Dex's winning board in the 42, 43-man lobby? Because it was gross.
Yeah,
it was like
I am sad about that one because I got rolled back and I lost my Obsidian enchant. So that's unfortunate. But that's just how it is right now. It's not too serious because we're still testing. Anyways, I actually know Dexa from when we were Mac players. So that's pretty funny. We used to talk about like high tier stuff for Mac. So nice to see him doing well again. Looking at his board, the big thing I see is the Ancient Vengeance skill. And it's funny how I know Ancient Vengeance, but I don't know the other one. Oh, Shield Bash. So they kind of do the same thing where they like charge you when your opponents are using things. It's really important because he has a Claymore. And I'm assuming 100% crit since that's a shiny journal.
Yeah.
So basically, you're just going to be swinging over and over and exponentially scaling your HP and your damage. And to top it all off, he is full Radiant because of the items on here. So you can't even freeze or do anything about it. So I think the only way to win would be some kind of boulder where you just delete all the HP at once.
Like Eclipse boulder, basically? Like, if you do you even live a swing, though? Like, I don't even know if you live one swing of Claymore, so...
Yeah, I think you can, but I really don't see any other ways to...
Yeah, it's tough. Trick, how would you feel running into this board right now?
I mean, I'm looking at the lineup, and like I'm seeing that he's level 21, and I personally don't know what day this tourney went to in game, but I would love to know how quickly he had this assembled to this degree. Like that's more what I'm curious about with this board, because like if this is what he had running for his last 4 to 5 PvPs, man, I'm glad I wasn't there. Let's just say that, because this is like the pilot's wings. They're like so much here is just nightmare fuel to look at, honestly. Like I don't know a better way to describe it.
The bear is just there for decoration.
The bear is aesthetic. Like it's you can tell by the other skills too. Like you can see he was chewing through legendary PvPs along the way. He has trickle down economics on his board. Like he was chewing through legendary monsters along the way. So know he just kept like spiking harder and harder. And like I don't know how much the Silver Assault focus even mattered for his earlier mid game.
I was gonna comment that too. Yeah, it's so funny.
No idea. But it's an insane board to look at.
I think what happened when I was like spectating, because I do like board scouting, so I was taking a look. He was actually 0-5 early, and then he found like the Spear Wolf stuff, which is a good way to stabilize for a few days. And then he went to Temple with the with like a gold claymore. That's when it all happened.
Okay, that makes sense. And I'm guessing hit Deborah at some point to get prestige back.
Yes, and I think the shiny journal was from level 2, which is very good.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous. Yeah,
That is a hit. That is a hit, all right. Holy.
That's so annoying. It's just like, okay, yeah, you got it, man. Like, there's your crit. And this is, for big lobbies. Also, as people know, the timer was at 5 minutes. So that means the first person to get to the end, you have to wait 5 minutes. And after every PvP, we were waiting an extra 2 minutes because when someone disconnects, that's a bug that was happening at the time. This lobby took, I think, like 2.5 hours. Like it was, or 2 hours and 15 minutes, something like that. It was a super late day. Every day took forever. You always waited the maximum time. So when a lobby like this happens and you have so many people, the winning board is always going to be something that like looks basically like it can't be replicated. Like it's going to be the craziest hits. That's just what the winning board is going to be every time. So that's what
that's why you should try
we're looking at.
So you should try like the large lobby and also the 8-person one. Because in our opinion, like most people that's tried it, the 8-person one is like it's like a good middle ground where you can high roll still, but it's not too crazy. So you need to be good at piloting your hero.
Yeah. Very good. Your mid game is extremely important in the 8-person lobbies. There's a lot of, Okay, so this is a perfect pivot point because what we're looking at is Claymore and we're looking at Karnok. Classy, you gotta talk to us about the state of Karnok, man. Why is this his only deal? Why is he just swinging with the big sword and playing max HP? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, look at the hero stats for ranked right now. Karnok has
pulling them up.
A 5% pick rate and a 5.2 average.
Yeah, that's
so he's like way below, like Dooley, 25% pick rate, the highest hero, and then he has like a 3.2 average. That's a whole 2 placement swing for that, which is insane.
That is insane. Yeah, it's all PTR though. He's just winning.
Yeah, PTR is a part of it. Like, and a lot of the ranked players are good dualies, so that's part of it. But if you want to talk about the state of Karnok, you can make a good comparison, right? So Dooley is known for having pretty good flexibility. Like he can utilize off-class things well because he charges. So a lot of synergies. He has like so many different cores you can pick from, and depending on what you get early, you can kind of like tailor your plan. And then in ranked, when you're in a lobby where you can see other players' boards, right? You can also tailor your plan and pick the right core for the situation. So those are just some examples. And I think Karnok has an issue where he has like decent openers that you can go into, and he's pretty good in the mid game, assuming you hit some key items, which I'll talk about. But the problem is a lot of these like archetypes in the mid game, you can't transition into late game well. Like you're just going to chain lose if you keep staying with the board. For example, the lifting stones from the streamer Tourney, right? If I stayed like that, I probably would have went like 8th or something, because that just doesn't scale well. And if you want to talk about scaling, there's one main thing that you can scale very comfortably outside of combat, and that's crit and max HP. So that is kind of the reason why all the boards end up in some kind of max HP state, because it's just really reliable and you can make good comebacks. And for the 4 items that you always need, we already know and talk about a lot. The squirrel you need, it's very important early and mid. For some late builds, you will need it. I'd probably say like 80% of builds you will need it. He just doesn't have anything else that can help start up, haste, and fly. And then for crit, you want the journal. For econ, you want the hunting knife. And the last one is Caracal, which is max HP and crit once you get a hunting pack. So basically, I just find those 4 things every time. And depending on how many of those 4 I find, my placement goes up or down.
That sound like so, I mean, I don't want to be like doomer about it. Doesn't sound so like boring though? Like, doesn't it get kind of stale?
It is super stale. That's why I haven't been very active in the recent few seasons. I will say that we're working on it. Like, it can definitely be fixed. New items would help for sure, but there are some reworks that could happen that could make this better.
What do you want to see? I mean, you don't have to be like too specific. You can be, but like, what do you want to change?
Rage gain needs help. So a lot of the enrage boards are too slow late game. You just get like frozen or the other heroes are too fast, right? So things like Tree, Giant Sling, Anaconda, like those are really strong items in the mid game. But later on, you're just too slow. Like your fastest start would be like 3 or 4 seconds, right? Mostly 4 because of the squirrel. And like trail markers doesn't really work on those boards. But what it does work with is max HP. So here we go. We go back to what we were talking about.
All right. Yeah. All the
So
good
I would
items
like
just
to
lumped
buff that.
together.
Yeah, the rage needs to be buffed. Like some kind of startup related to rage. And then the defensive stuff needs to have like more late game as well. Like in a good lobby, if you run like a full pacifist setup, you're probably just gonna lose at some point.
Yeah. It also seems like something like Aurora Vista. There's maybe some boards in the field, like in ladder, where it's like okay, but it seems like a terrible item, right?
Okay, I'm gonna drop this stat now. Aurora Vista has like a 45% win rate and like a 0% pick rate.
Yeah,
like, it's just horrid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Pretty good.
A whole bunch of really good support items that all happen to work on the exact same late game build. Where have I heard this before? I feel like I've heard of this problem on another hero at some point, where all of the good late game items happen to support the exact same build.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to ask the same thing. I mean, I was going to ask Trick, like, we're talking max HP. You're the pig representative here. Like, this is just what late game, like, Bazaar is, right? It's like freeze lock, max HP. Like, I don't know. How does Pig, like, look at these things and what does he do?
I mean, I'll say from a Pig perspective, I would also love for Karnok to get better late game options, so it's not just Claymore, because it is frustrating to look at Claymore and just know that it's better than what I'm doing most of the time.
Right.
But that's more because, you know, Karnok doesn't have as many avenues for it, as Classy said a moment ago. Like, you have like the 4 items you're shooting for, and if you don't hit those 4, you know, you're kind of just bleeding prestige. Whereas on Pig, you know, I probably have like more like 10 to 11 big Pig items I can comfortably play around with. So I have a lot more wiggle room to play the game compared to Karnok. But I feel like currently, like, the ceiling on Claymore is great, and I love that for Karnok. I would love for him to have other options, because the play
good.
pattern of
it is
it is too, like, in comparison to like Pygmalion large HP, where I can definitely get bigger numbers than Karnok, but I can't scale exponentially, and Karnok's faster. So it becomes a very interesting, you know, back and forth. Like, you know, it's rough when I get the Karnok max HP items on Pig, and I'm happier to see those than my own items. Like,
that's sad.
I'm happier to see Hunter's Pack than I am Belt at this point, and that tells you something.
Yeah, that's really sad. I mean, this is also like, okay, so Claymore, one of my biggest gripes with it is, I mean, the number one thing is, like, I don't think it's extremely fun. I mean, winning is fun, I guess, right? But then the second one is that it feels like so not interactable in a way. Like, I don't mind losing to a huge swing that just does 4x my health bar, and in some cases, I guess. But it feels like so often Claymore is run with Lake, which is like a problem, because it's like, okay, getting to half health, but now their Claymore swings like 400 times and I'm dead anyways, and their max health is a zillion. And most of the time, by the time Squirrel casts, they're half radiant. It's like, I'm not like really doing anything to win here. I'm just kind of like waiting to die. Sorry, Classy, you were saying something.
Yeah, the Lake, you scale your HP and then you go to half again, but it's like a higher half than before. So you're actually going backwards if you think about it.
It's just like, it's just weird. Go ahead.
And I know this is a point that I've seen people make about Stow patterns of gameplay before, to like trying to loop what we're talking about Karnok. It is frustrating to get to a point where it feels like you're no longer playing in regards to your opponent. You're just playing to do your thing as good as possible. And that is what a lot of max HP boards feel like, where you're not really caring anymore about what the opponent is doing. You are just trying to optimize what the thing you are trying to accomplish as fast as possible, or as big as possible, with little to no disregard to your opponent. And that can feel very unfun to play against, when you can tell your opponent didn't really care what they were facing. They just are brute forcing their way through it.
Yeah.
Which can feel frustrating.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
the
max
idea...
HP in general, you know, like that's kind of when you're in the late game, that's what you expect, you know?
Right. And if I've lived on ladder to day 14 or 15 and I'm not playing something that's like extremely fast and does like their whole health bar, like I'm just like, I deserve to die probably. Like a big pig is going to kill me. Claymore's going to kill me. I'm not going to get to do anything unless I'm playing permafreeze. But like, that's becoming a lot more rare or harder to pull off. So
You're
it's
playing
just kind of the state
Vanessa
of the game.
also.
Yeah, I'm playing Vanessa, right? So okay, it's time for me to do my rant, right? Like, I like have not gotten salty about the game, like hardly ever on ladder. Like losing, it's like, okay, whatever. Like even losing by a little bit or like getting 9 instead of 10 wins to me is like fine, because I'm not a ladder pusher, but I do like to like be good at the game. But I've been like saltier recently because we had this recent patch where Vanessa was really good. I understand this. I get that people really don't like, well, they really took it out on Bernacuda, which I think was like just the wrong way to go, but it happened, right? It's fine. People still think Bernacuda was crazy and OP. It's like, fine. Okay. I feel like we're looking at the wrong thing, but it's like, cool. It's 3 seconds now and it's borderline useless in most endgame boards. But then people are losing to Vanessa because she has start of combat stuff with like, we had gold holsters, we had magma core at bronze from Curio, you're doing blunderbuss stuff, you throw a keg on there, all this stuff, and people are like, this sucks, I can't interact, I don't get to do anything. And I'm like, it's the same thing. It's like when you run into Pig on day 14 or into Claymore, you don't get to interact. Like, you're not actually interacting, you just think that you are. You've just lost the game before it's even started because of what they have. And it's okay, Vanessa was too strong, I get it. Okay, some things got nerfed, direction, whatever. But then in tournament mode, it's like you get this ammo thing is now much harder to pull off. Magma core doesn't exist. Holsters is at diamond. You want your burn triggers, so you're hoping for Valley Fever or Fire Starter, and then you get the whole thing, and then you get frozen for half a second and you lose, and that's it, because your loop is gone and you don't get to do anything anymore and you die. Or Peg plays a booby trap and Lion's Cane and it's over. It's it. Like, there's nothing you can do. So like, for all the complaining there's about Vanessa, like when you look at like tournament mode, she struggles like so bad into what's really good. So I'm just salty because it's like, I don't think Vanessa is a worse hero than these other heroes on ladder, but now that I'm playing so much tournament, and maybe the reality is that I'm just bad, like, and that's perfectly possible, but it's just like, I'm not going to freeze like anybody.
I mean, her stats are not that bad on tourney mode.
Yeah, they're fine, right? Like,
can I weigh in on the salt that you're feeling real quick, if that's okay?
I mean, please, yeah.
So about the like getting blown up, whatever, like there comes a point in all of our experiences where we have to come to terms with the fact that people are going to just unfairly dislike something regardless of if it's too strong or not. Like, and obviously we all have different experiences as to what we play, but whether or not ammo was actually too much and actually over the top, people felt like it was, and it just be like that, and that sucks. And I get frustrated by that all the time. Like, I'm dealing with it with Hammock right now on ladder. People complaining about Hammock, and it's people don't like losing to sustain, and they feel like they don't interact because they see someone scale to some unassailable number and said, "Oh, I couldn't beat that." Like, it's crazy scaling. I was like, yeah, but if you had killed me before I scaled, you would have beat that. Like, it's
the nature
one
of
of
the
those
Bazaar.
things. It's the nature of the Bazaar. Like people are going to dislike the things that they don't like playing against. Aggro players aren't going to like playing against sustain. Sustain players don't like start of combat. Like you're gonna have these loops, and I feel bad for whoever gets popular in a current season for whatever reason.
It's fine, right? And like, technically, every time you queue into a fight, you have won or lost it from the time you click to the portrait.
Exactly, but people don't think like that on average. Like it's like the pseudo effect of playing a traditional card game. Like, if you queue up a game of Hearthstone or a game of Magic the Gathering, like, control can just beat down aggro to an extent in some of these games. So yes, you did get to play 7 or 8 turns of a game, but you weren't going to win. Like, you lost from the minute you queued up against this guy. You just got a chance to at least play the game.
Right. And sometimes there are interaction points, and then, okay, this loops us all the way back around to tournament mode where there's teching, right? Like, I don't know that we have a specific term for it. It's just what I'm calling it and how I called it when I casted, where you run these variations of boards or specific items that are really good at teching, that give you that feel of, I'm actually outplaying my opponent. I'm not just playing the field. Like Trapping Pit's a good example. Like, you might play it, but then you might not. And then you're mind gaming. You're actually outplaying somebody. So I think that like gives room for more and less saltiness, but also a feel of like agency. I don't know. What do you think, Classy? Like, do you think that's good?
I think tourney mode is definitely less salty in general. One of my biggest gripes with ladder. It has nothing to do with any specific hero. It's just the general theme I've noticed is the insane like Exodia boards. They're just happening more often and earlier than before. And this is because like there's a lot of new high roll opportunities these days. Like you have Farai, you have all those free skill vouchers, you have Crash Site in addition to Temple now, right? All the monster skills, like there's still a bunch of insane ones that insta win if you get them. So like on ladder, because of the way it works, you can have a chance of like finding all these insane boards and you can't do anything about it. Like you don't have control of your outcome, right? But in tourney mode, you do have control because you're against the same people. So you can like do damage to them early, if that makes sense. And the teching part as well is important, but I just like the control of being able to figure out if I want to be aggressive, like take out people's prestige early, if I want to try to like hold back and start scaling for late game. There's all sorts of dynamics now, which just makes it way better and more fair.
Yeah, more fair and in some ways more fun. Like I queued a lobby today that was 2 pigs, like 2 really good pig players. I don't think there was any dually, but basically I was like, okay, I'm deciding from the beginning of the game, if I have any chance in this lobby, the pig players, like we all have to play aggro and we have to kill them before they get a chance. Like people can't like...
Exactly.
They can't save their money as hard. They need to like fully invest in a stronger board and like take the pig out. And it actually like one of the pigs ended up winning, but we did take one of them out that usually would have won a lobby like that. So yes, the agency's there. And I did the same. I was like, I pulled the Probo and I was like, okay, I have to ditch my whole ammo idea and I have to like fully invest in this right now. And it worked out for me. I got third, I think.
I was just queuing up earlier tonight, and in one of them, I made the same decision as you. So I actually sold my Hunter's Journal, which is unheard of. Like that's like a sin, basically. But I did it money? Because I found a early dual reaver, and I was looking at my lobby. There's a bunch of pigs, right? So I was like, okay, I need to start whittling down their prestige now and like really get them to be uncomfortable. Like if you can make them hit their fates early, then they might be screwed sometimes because they're not like ready. Like they can't find the right thing to enchant, or like they don't have the right things to upgrade. So you do have agency, and it's kind of like playing Commander in Magic, because you're like, you can't control what your opponents are playing in your pod usually, but when you see like a combo player, you guys can go aggro against him and so on in Commander. So I think it's kind of cool like that.
Yeah. And it unfortunately, it's not unfortunate, I guess. It requires that the other people in your lobby are like on the same page. It's like, guys, we all kind of need to like do this or we all die together. Like, so let's like think about this. And it's fun. I think we'll see like some people will care about that and some people will just be like, I just like playing as my friend, and that's like great. Like then do that. I'm into all of it. And I could rant about Dooley in tournament forever. I think Dooley is just like good at any and every stage of the game and has options every time against every hero. But you know, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean there will always be like somebody at the top. So yeah, it just happens to be Dooley now. It might not be that later.
Sure. I definitely think the idea that you were talking about a moment ago in regards to like how you made a giant pivot play of selling your journal. That is a really cool part of tournament mode, because like if you were just live streaming playing on ladder and you sold that, everyone in chat would call you bad at the game. They would say you're making a crazy blunder, you're like selling your run, but you made a judgment call based on your own personal experience. And I think that is the coolest part of tournament mode, is when you get to flex like your in-game knowledge of like, hey, if I greed this, I'm gonna die 10 days from now. Like you just know. And I do think that's one of the coolest parts of the mode. Also, petitioning right now to call teching stashing because you're holding it in your stash. I'm gonna push that. I'm gonna push that.
Yeah, stashing. Yeah, you're or like side barring it, whatever. Stash makes sense. Whatever name for it.
Sideboard. That's what they called it in the TCGs.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I don't know. I'll do whatever, man. I'm just so pumped on it. Like I think it's, like I said, the most fun I've had with the game. If I win or lose, like I lost to double diamond chrono barrier today, and it's like, dude, this is insanity. And the amount of times I've lost where it's like I have this incredibly strong like max crit keg with my whole ammo thing, and then someone hits me with like one freeze and I die, and it like tilts me so hard, but all it makes me want to do is like play again. It's like, this is why I play video games. Like, this is the fun of it. So I'm really happy with it. I'm happy to have seen something launch for the game that people are not being losers about. Like, people are like into it. They're happy, even though the thing is buggy because it's a test realm. People are happy. Streamers are really happy. Even the ones who don't play it don't have anything to be upset about. But the ones that are playing, like Vito's playing a lot, Asuka's playing a lot. I love seeing that they're just hosting big lobbies and having like a great time. It's such a good, like we predicted, like it's going to be so good for the way they interact with their chats. Like, Classy, have your streams, like how have those been going doing tournament?
Doing too many, but when I do, it's been going pretty well. Like, I like explaining. It's just more exciting to explain things instead of my normal runs where I'm just clicking the same things every time.
Yeah, maybe we should all just pivot into the heroes that, you know, have infinite options. I think that's like the fun of the game, but yeah, people think differently. I don't know. Some people like Trick said, like to play cash cannon every game and every chance they get, so that's fine for them. Okay, before we get into like thing. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying, like, you don't really have the time to force in tournament. Like, in a good lobby, you're going to be bleeding, so you need to be more flexible. You have to be.
Right. Yeah, one of my strategies. So I've lost a lot of my rank because I've been trying different ways to win in lobbies that are really difficult. And one of my strategies was to try and play my days like 3 through 7 as fast as possible, just to rush people. And I think the timer's like tough. So we were thinking about talking this topic later. I think we can like broaden it up to what we think like an ideal rule set for tournament mode like could or should be. Trickster, you had some thoughts on like the timer portion of things. Like, do you want to share some of that?
I can. I don't want to go too in depth on it because I don't want to be the guy like ranting with the opinion that no one's going to agree with. But I do think like in an official competitive format, like if there is ever one that's standardized, like in the way that, you know, Pokemon has VGC as like the standardized format. Like if you ever get to a Bazaar standardized format, I do think the 5-minute timer is the timer you should shoot for personally. That's just me. So as somebody who plays a lot of Pygmalion and plays a lot of pacifist builds, I don't think you should ever be having I don't think you should ever be having less time for decision making, because my build takes 3 times as long in PvE specifically. That is my gripe with the timer. I think just because my build, like if I'm going to say, because this happened today. It was a bug report that happened today. Like someone was sent from PvE straight to PvP because they fully timed out the sandstorm in a PvE versus property baron. Like
that's so funny.
That is insane, and it wouldn't have happened with the 5-minute timer. So that I know like that obviously is not going to happen all the time. But when you're playing, you know, optimally, you know, if you're shooting for XP, you get extra fights. If you're playing a pacifism board, you're playing hogwash hammock stuff on Pygmalion, you just can't take extra fights. You have to skip extra fights even if they're optimal with a 3-minute timer. And I don't think that is a good competitive environment where you're forced to make suboptimal plays because my animations take longer.
No, that's fair.
So that's my big gripe. That's the only hill I'll die on. I think 5-minute timer should be the official competitive format.
Okay, so
that's my TED Talk.
let me play, you know, the opposite side of this idea. First, posing the question: if for some reason PvE, like the timer, I don't know, if during Sandstorm you could like skip Sandstorm if it starts, then would you be like, yeah, the timer can come down? It's only a PvE issue for you, or is it a gameplay issue? Yes,
no, it's specifically PvE issue. If the time didn't count during PvE, or if there was some way to circumvent the time that you're in it, I would 100 be fine with 3-minute timer. I think 3-minute timer for actual decision making is fine. My only gripe is with certain boards just taking longer in PvE. Like that is my only thing. Because like when this was you know, I haven't actually played on PTR, so this is, you know, testing experience. Like we had tested the 3-minute timer as well a couple times, and like there were days that I did not get to play through the last hours of my day because I was playing Freeze Pygmalion versus Chili Charles, and the fight took a minute and a half.
Yeah, that's
like
tough.
That just happens with certain PvEs and matchups, and I think it happens enough that a 3-minute timer just isn't conducive to a good competitive environment.
Sure. I think like, so yeah, that all makes sense to me. I don't know. I want it to feel fair. The PvE thing is tough. Like, Classy, what do you think about the timer situation?
I mean, I'm okay with it if the lobby is 8. Like if it's a small amount of, because most of the time that won't happen. If you're in a giant lobby and it's 5 minutes, then you'll be waiting 5 minutes every time. But if it's like a competitive 8-person thing, right? Like some people like Cranbury are going to force the time early and so on. So you won't have to worry too much about the wait.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, right? It's like, okay, so the timer's 5 minutes from when the first person gets there. But I'm certain that like competitive players will use as much possible time as given to them, given the opportunity, if the stakes are high enough, right? If it's like this win really matters to them, there's something on the line, they're going to use every single resource they have available. They're going to use the entirety of the timer. And my time pressure that I could apply is drastically different based on the amount of time. 5 minutes to 3 minutes is like a huge percentage swing, right?
Oh,
5 minutes also like, yeah, it feels like so long. For those of you who have played it, like if you get there first or you get there with however many minutes left, I know for some players it feels like actually still too fast because they want to think about their decisions. My opinion is that in a competitive environment, like you want to actually add as many interaction points as possible. And a timer is one of the most like complex and interesting ones where it's like I get to I sort of do influence my opponent's board just by like adding pressure. Like I've had runs where I'm thinking too long about which like fight to take or which, should I take money here or go to a shop? And then I'm playing at people faster than me. And I make like terrible decisions because I have to go faster. And I think that's like a really healthy thing. Like I don't want it to just be everyone gets all the time in the world. I mean, it's the difference between classic chess and then maybe not bullet, but like a faster version where it's like you get these more interesting connection points versus like we're playing the most optimal possible. It's like weirder, more interesting things happen. You're tested by your knowledge of the game. Sorry, I'm ranting. What are you saying?
You're fine.
It tests your mastery, which is important, like having a lower timer. And most of the alternatives, such as like TFT, Hearthstone, right? They also have the time pressure, especially in like if you watch like competitive, the time pressure is like a big factor. So if we really do get to competitive state where there's like prizes, money, esports, like I would agree that the timer should be tested and then adjusted to be like competitive. So we could do maybe 4. I think right now we're doing 3 or maybe 3:30 on the
3:30 right now. Yeah.
So still a work in progress.
Sure. My personal gripes with the 3-minute thing, I'm fine. Like I'm fine being wrong on. Like if in the end 3 or 3:30 is like the perfect competitive thing, I'm totally fine with that. I just like to acknowledge the idea that in larger lobbies, 5 minutes sounds like a nightmare. Like it does.
It is. Yeah.
But I do think there's also a stigma towards the game where people are used to playing the game asynchronously. They're used to being able to click through everything at the speed they want to. And that's not tournament mode.
Yeah.
And that's a very important distinction you got to make when you're playing in a live lobby. You are no longer playing a solo game where you are in control of every single like pace that you're setting throughout the game.
That makes sense.
You're tied with other people for the good and the bad. If other people are playing fast and you're playing fast because of it, okay. If people are roping every game, people are roping every game. Like you're here for the long haul.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I maybe I worry about things that like haven't even happened yet that I'm projecting that don't even matter until they, actually happen. But I think like longer timers, I think like streamers, they're like, we've already seen like what Whispers was playing 2 games at the same time, one tournament, and every time he got to the end of the day, he would just boot up or he would keep playing a different run somewhere else. Vito did the same thing. That's kind of sad to me. Like I want tournament to feel like you're fully engaged and locked in with it 100% of the duration of the thing somehow. But maybe that's just not possible, and it's,
I think different heroes have different amounts of decision points too, though. Like, like some heroes will sit in middle for 45 seconds fully trying to decide which item is more important to buy. Other heroes have really defined good lines. And when you see those items, you're not going to sit in a shop and think about buying something else when the correct thing is in front of you and you know you should just buy it and leave. So it's super hero dependent. Like some heroes have great defined lines. They can play through their days in a minute or two and they're good. You know?
Yeah. But I like that. Like that's what's like, I want that to be another interaction point. And maybe I have so much bias because I'm playing Vanessa right now, which is, you know, this is why I'm getting feedback, right? But it's like, if I can't compete with you on this large scale of pure output and board, can I have this other way of competing with you, which is like by maybe forcing you to make mistakes or not be able to take advantage of all your opportunities? And there's a number where it works. Like, is it 330? Is it 4? Can we figure out something with the PvEs? I don't know. But I hope that becomes something that like matters. I want to see like, so have you guys ever seen a like Balatro tournament or like a multiplayer, like you play against somebody?
Are you talking about like I've watched Major League Balatro, like the actual like circuit? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Classy, it's probably like TFT has similar things, right? But I love watching when someone they have like no time left and they're clicking things like really quickly and they're making all these decisions really fast. I love those moments because it's like it shows off how much you know in such a tiny amount of time, and it's cool. Like I want that to happen somehow. So
I can agree with it being cool. I just think like the PvE having a like set time you have to get through that is variable by what you're playing is my only issue with the timer. If PvEs weren't timed, I would even be fine with like a 2-minute timer because me personally, I think 2 minutes is enough time to get through the whole like actual decision making in a day. I just hate that PvEs count towards the time. That's my only gripe. Like that's my only issue with the timer.
Sure.
Like
it's just a hard thing to like add.
It is a hard thing to solve.
Like a 3-minute timer, but then PvE doesn't count. It's like what if you get 2 fights and it's even longer than 5 minutes?
Exactly, because now people are just gonna sit and have to wait for it to get through. Like there's not a good clean fix. But like that's my only gripe with it. And I would like to see what they're gonna do to remedy the issues people have with it. Because a lot of people did hate the 5 minutes when they're playing in the large lobbies. People were really complaining about it. But at the same time, you introduce some competitive integrity issues the lower the timer gets to an extent, as long as PvE exists. So, what do you do? I'm curious. I want to see I don't know if it's going to be people hosting the Bazaar World Tournament series that make these kind of decisions for like what's going to be an official format, quote unquote. But I look forward to seeing what people decide on. I'm so curious to what's going to be the official Bazaar competitive format. Well, what are the numbers people say, hey, this is what you play at officially for these kind of things? I'm super stoked to see what the numbers are.
Yeah, someone's going to be unhappy. So, I'm trying to get as much feedback as possible so that whatever we land with is enough people like it. Classy, you were saying something maybe regarding like the streamers or something like that?
Well, the bot that we have allows us to ban nodes and change the timer. So we've actually banned Rest and Deborah because those are like pretty unfair. So I think in the future, we're going to have customization options, basically.
Okay, to like help with the competitive like side of things or otherwise, I guess? Like, just for fun?
Just for competitive. Just for competitive. Okay. What do you think you would like to see done with that? I mean, Deborah and Rest makes sense. Are there other things that you would like to see different? I mean, off the top of my head, not really. I think it's pretty fine without those. The timer definitely, I think it would be better if they were able to do something with the PvE, like not counting it. Because like the main distinction between TFT and this is like in TFT, everyone is at the same time. Like there's no extra things like the PvE, right? But this is different because you do have all those extra opportunities and nodes. So I think it is fair that like we should just not count the time and have a set timer for everything else. Like it doesn't really make people play slower, right? Because they're stuck in the PvE. So I think it makes a lot of sense if they were able to implement that. Yeah, I agree. I hope they find a way, and I don't know. We'll see. All right, we're wrapping this up. So Classy, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you and shout out anything that you'd like to? Yeah, I mean, all the socials that I have, like YouTube and Twitch, it's just Classy and then add ATO after because someone took my name apparently. So I do stream on Twitch from time to time. I'm mostly focused on tournament mode these days, just like queuing up. But I think that's where the best content is, to be honest, because I'm not just forcing. Like if you watch my ladder matches, I'm just like clicking Claymore every run. So it's not very interesting. But I also upload all the interesting stuff onto YouTube as well if I ever get any good VODs. Nice.
So check those out. Are you planning to push for top 8 of the PTR ranking or not?
Probably not. I mean, I'm planning to cast it, so I don't want to.
Okay.
If I do get there, I will, but I don't think I'm going to make that.
Okay.
I've only done 4.
All right. Only 4. Okay. But you've done well, right? You're first, second, first? Is that
First,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
I just like doing it just to like show that Karnok isn't that bad.
Yeah, despite the stats given. That makes sense. All right, Trickster, what about you? Where can people find you? Any shout outs you have?
People can find me at Tr1kster73 on YouTube and Twitch. I stream the game pretty regularly, and I post a lot of random scripted Bazaar content, like variety stuff. Some game show stuff mainly is what I've been kind of doing, but that's always very dependent on who else is free to be there.
Yeah, people. But those are such good videos. People should watch those. They're like, and you learn something new about the game, or maybe you get to like test yourself, like Bazaar Jeopardy. It's fun.
Hey,
so.
we had someone from the Tempo team on there last time. That was really fun. He didn't do very good, but it was fun.
That's so funny. Eric is so funny
He tried his best, man. He really shotgunned some of those answers. Let me just say that.
That's so funny. All right. Yeah, so letting everyone know again, if you want to play in the public test realm, you can check the Discord for that. It's really easy to get in and it's extremely fun. You should join the ranked queue just because it's a good time. Like playing, we're trying to figure out the like proper format, and that'll keep on changing with time. New data is getting pushed to that. I think right around now. I'll be there. I think I'm actually going to try and queue up as soon as we finish here. Classy's usually around in that chat, so you can talk to him there, I'm sure. And lots of other people that are really fun and funny to interact with and that are really good at the game. So please try that if you get the chance. So this has been the Bazaar World Podcast. It's our second episode. Next week, we're looking to have a tournament organizer on to talk maybe more about these official rule set ideas. But when we get there, we'll see how that goes. Shout outs to Tech Elaine for the artwork done for the Bazaar World Podcast. They did a great job. It looks great. I've been getting lots of compliments about it. It's beautiful. And a shout out to Adequate Living Situation for our theme song. Did an amazing job, and I am hopeful that if I need more in the future, they're willing to work with me again. So thanks for listening to this, and we will catch you guys in the next one.